Sound development. Can you hear me? Cue the music. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a way to develop sound. A great way to develop sound is to work on your overtones if you're a saxophone player. Or, I don't know if there's overtones in other instruments. Maybe there's something like it. What we're going to do is talk about overtones. If you don't know what the overtones are, that's okay. It's a series of notes that you can play on your saxophone when it's completely closed off, whether you're playing low B flat or low B or low C sharp or low C, and you can create these different pitches by moving your throat and hearing the different pitches. So the way this works is you finger low B flat, okay? You hold that down and you can play an octave above low B flat, so let's call that middle B flat, and then you could play a fifth above that, which is F on the scale, okay? Then you can play an octave above that, so 2 octaves above low B flat, so we're talking about B flat above the staff, and then from there it goes up a major third to D, and then it goes up a minor third to F, and then it goes up another minor third to A flat, and then it can go up, then it goes up to B flat again, so B flat in the altissimo range, and then you can keep going. As you notice, you probably notice that the intervals shrink more and more and more. Once you get to like 2 octaves above B flat, then you're talking like your throat's going to be controlling a lot of the different pitches up there because the intervals shrink and shrink and shrink. Now you could do this with low B flat, like I said before. You could do it with low B, you could do it with low C, you could do it with low C sharp. I'm going to do another video about maybe working on a scale just using overtones, but that'll be for something else. The goal of this is to match the note as close as possible. You don't need to use a metronome. If you want to use a metronome, you can, but the goal is for you to really use your ears and listen to what you're playing. Listen to the quality of the overtone because it's going to sound very full, and then try to match your normal fingering for that note to that overtone. So it sounds something like this. I did it in the beginning, just a quick little, but you can play the notes as long as you want. You can use this is a sound development, so you can use it as a long tone exercise. That's fine. You can use it as ear training. It's got a lot of benefits. But the main goal here is we're developing sound. We're developing a richer sound. We're developing better breath control and support. You're also working on your embouchure quite a bit, and you're opening up your throat. So all of this is really going to improve your sound. Really, what's playing without great sound, right? I mean, this is just my opinion. I think that when you hear someone with a great sound, it's so much more powerful than hearing someone with just all of these licks all up and down and this and that. I mean, some people have both, right? Chris Potter, freak, right? Josh Rodman, freak. Like, those guys are just unbelievable. Quick story about Josh Rodman. Josh Rodman, I was told once that Josh Rodman can do this overtone matching exercise, and he can actually make every single note on his horn sound from an overtone sound like every one of his notes without overtone fingerings. Freak, like I said. Crazy. Anyways, our goal today is to try to match just a couple, right? Maybe you're just working on B flat and F, but try to get those as close as possible, and you'll start realizing, all right, I need to open my throat a little bit more. I need to, open up my embouchure. I'm pinching here. My sound isn't projecting. Just be very aware in the moment of what you're feeling. Am I tightening my mouth too much? What am I doing? That's what you should be asking yourself. What am I doing? What can I do differently to match that? So let's try a couple here. I'll do B flat here. Let's try that again. That's pretty close. I'd say that one's pretty close. Let's try F. Pretty close. Okay, so I won't bore you with all the rest of them, but you get it, right? And that's a great way to build your sound. If you have all of the fundamentals down, and the foundational stuff down, it doesn't matter, you know, what your horn is or what your mouthpiece is or what reed you're using. You could figure all that stuff out in time, but having the foundation of a really, really great embouchure and a great, you know, great throat placement, all that other jargon that goes into having a good sound, breath control, right? My point is if you change your horn, you change your mouthpiece, you change reeds, it all can change your sound. But if you have the foundational, fundamental stuff down, then at least you don't have to work on that. You don't have to work on the breath control. You don't have to work on developing all that. All of it will just come out no matter what your equipment is. Okay. Anyways, so good luck with that.